Hello, hello, my dear students. Uh, INICET is done and NEET is starting off, right? And how much ever we say, okay, give your best for INICET and all that, somewhere deep down when you're writing the INICET exam, not for everybody, but for most of us, we still feel that, okay, INICET, we are not very sure, but NEET is coming and let's blast ourselves for the NEET. And now that phase is also over, right? So NICT was done yesterday, and now we are moving ahead for your NEET. And NEET is what we say as a definitive exam. Means it is an exam where everybody, whoever is trying to read and study, must get placed by the end of this particular NEET examination, isn't it? And that's the exam which settles everybody who's preparing. Whether you want to be in the best government colleges, whether you want to be in the army, whether it is the deemed university, or whether it is a private government seat in a private college or a management seat, irrespective, NEET is the only entry, and it is the exam which settles all of us, right? Now, what are the differences between INICET and NEET, and what is it that I have to do for the next, 3.5 months? Let us assume, though the notification, I am assuming that usually the notification comes out in this month. So we may expect, if the exam is going to be conducted in March, we may expect the notification to be out probably in a couple of weeks at the max. So you should get the notification at least informing us as to when the examination will be. Okay, so let us assume that our NEET examination is in the first week of March. I think March 2nd and 9th are the Sundays. So let us assume that your examination is on the 9th of March, right? For all practical purposes. Now, this is just as a small deadline as to how do we really start a preparation, keeping that focus in mind. Okay, all of you. So let me just see. First and foremost, irrespective of whoever you are, whatever be your status of reading and studies and all that, for the next 3.5 months, अगर आपने decide कर लिया, if you have decided कि I need that seat, that means this next 3.5 months is going to be a time wherein you have to sacrifice everything, right? My dear students, see, there's always time for enjoyment, there's always time for fun, there's always time for Insta, there's always time for freaking out, there's time for doing everything, visit the beaches, club parties, jo bhi ho. But there is only a specific time for studies, right? And we are here so that we give our best for this, for this next 3.5 months, so that when the NEET exam comes, obviously those who get into INICET, fantastic, God bless you all. But majority of us, let's get ready for the NEET 2025 examination, right? So let us see tentatively. Let us assume if our exam is on the 9th of March, then what is it and how is it that we have to tackle this particular situation? So, as I've been saying, irrespective of whatever be your status, first thing is that I have to, now, whatever I'm going to tell you for the next, let's say, 15-20 minutes, everything depends on one simple foundation that all of you are ready to give in your best. See, nothing will happen if it is lukewarm. Any attempt that is 50% is 50%. You know that you're going to fail. Matlab na, that dedication should be there ki, okay, see, even if you have not done anything and you're going to start your studies now, you've decided that this 3.5 months is my core time, right? And I'm going to give my 1000% for this particular examination. Then only then what I'm going to say will make sense. Like, if you're deciding, okay, let's do a few subjects, थोड़ा MCQs पढ़ लूँगा, थोड़ा पल्स इधर से उधर से देख लूँगा, I will see something here and there and I'll get through. That is not correct, right? Anything in life, let's say in the future you want to open a clinic, you have to be the best. You want to start a you want to do a new course, you want to learn something new, you want to place you want to move ahead with your implants and learn something like all on four, or you want to learn about pterygoid implants, or if you are into endo, you want to like amplify and take microscopes into your practice in a big way. I mean, irrespective of whatever you want to do, there is an element of hard work which has to be done. And I feel this particular 3.5 months is all about testing you in the proper way. I always kept saying that if you felt that the INICET was a little stressful, the NEET, I need not tell you anything. I just have to tell you read and study, and but automatically, pressure, somewhere deep down will start building key. This is my exam, and I better do well so that I can get the seat of my choice. I can get the college of my choice. You know, a lot of factors are depending. I know that most of you all have sacrificed a lot, and my dear students, all of you are reading and all of you are studying, so keep the faith alive and give your 100% effort for this exam that is coming. Okay, right now, uh, let us assume that there are three categories of students. Okay, now I think that's very, very important, because you should know where you are. Category A are those students who have finished their studies by this INICET exam. That will just be around, let us assume, around 20%. Matlab na, they have done all sir's lectures, they have done pulse, they are pretty okay with what is going on, and I'm not like of course they need to really do a lot and study a lot and revise a lot, but at least thoda bahut to confidence. I mean, they have that some amount of confidence in all the subjects, and they feel, obviously nobody is going to be super duper confident. Even in the topper will not be confident, but at least when you look at the subjects, you start feeling that I'm okay. But that is that group. Okay, majority of us are in, I would say, category B or group B. Okay, now this is a group of students who have been studying for the last 3-4 months, and you have been trying to complete, but you're not very thorough. You have left a few topics, you have not done synopsis there, or you have not done previous year questions somewhere, or you have left, let's say, biochemistry, or you have not done physiology or something like that. Matlab, no, it is not complete. There is some things, and let's say in your dental pulse, or there are some lectures which you have not yet viewed and not yet caught upon, or some things which you always felt कि हाँ मैं बाद में करूँगा. And when you and me know that whenever I say that we will do it later, it means probably never, right? So that never comes. So procrastination is the evil of everybody, right? So it is something like that. And then this group C are those group of students who have just started studying, let us say, in the last 1 month, or probably just about to begin studying, and they want to give their 100% effort for the next 3.5 months. So let me speak about all of these groups, and so you can identify yourself to where you are. It'll be unfair on my part without dividing this, to give you a timetable, because I'll be just briefing out for all of you ki aapko kya karna hai, what is it that you have to do, so that you can optimize your studies for this next 3.5 months. You should never work hard work in a wrong direction. It should always be smart work in the right direction, and hit it, and keep hitting your hit. Like every time, keep hitting that, and I think that things will fall onto track. Is it okay? Right now, especially those of you who are in category or in group C, I would like to tell you a simple thing. See, my dear students, uh, suppose, let us say that in your college, or you're doing your internship, and you want to study, and you may hear somebody tell, acha abhi start kar rahe ho kya, nahi hoga, it won't happen, and things like that. And you have decided to study, and you hear some kind of a negative thought coming, and then suddenly you're broken. My dear students, irrespective of who you are, what you are, right? I again go back to the first statement. Once you've decided to study, you study. Alienate yourself, isolate yourself, until unless that perfect focus and concentration is there, we are not going to crack this NEET in with the highest potential. I've seen students who have a lot of potential, but somehow filled in with a little bit of anxiety and negative energy, they don't come up to their true potential, which is sad. So when you isolate yourself, when I say isolate, I don't mean you isolate from everybody. I don't mean that. When you isolate, in the sense, you think about only one thing. It should be like that magnifying lens. You have that, see, sunlight is everywhere. But when we use that magnifying lens, and the sunlight which falls in the magnifying lens can even burn a paper. So next 3.5 months, if you have a great environment to study, like if you have a library, like for example down here you have these reading rooms or wherever you are, sit in one of these places. Everybody's studying together. There's that boundless amount of energy, all moving in the same direction. So if you have a place like that, or your room, whatever it is, right, you sit down and tell yourself that this 3.5 months is my time and nothing else. I'm not going to listen to any Tom, Dick, and Harry, somebody telling me some kind of things. No, let me push myself to the best of my capacity, as much as I can. Let me just push myself and see that I will do, I should surprise myself. That is how it should be. And that should be the attitude I feel all of us should have in these 3.5 months without getting too tensed. I really thank so many of you all who WhatsApp me telling that, so you're very calm and your messages were really nice. Thank you so much for all that. But what is more important is, see, a person who's very tense and anxious can never do well, so just be calm and be cool and, just try to go ahead and, I think it will be fine. So please don't worry. Okay, my dear students. So let's face it out. These 3 months. So especially this group C and to a certain extent even group B. Group B. You all have heard of this saying of this bumblebee. It's a very famous saying. Let me just show you this. Now see, usually all insects, so for example, not insects, birds, plane, they have these huge wings. Now look at this butterfly. Look at the body of this butterfly and look at the wings. Okay, the wingspan is so much bigger than the body. If you look at a plane, the wings are so much larger than the main body of the plane. But they say if you look at a bumblebee, and not just the bumblebee, there are many bees like the bumblebee. Now, this guy is a cute little bumblebee. We all know bumblebee from what is that, my dear? That yellow Transformers. We all know bumblebee from Transformers, but this is also the real bumblebee. Look at the wings, chotu chotu wings, and small wings. Yeah. And look at his body. On the other hand, a huge body, and very small wings. Suppose this is the body of the bumblebee, the wings are only so much, right? So they say aerodynamically, a bumblebee is never supposed to fly. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. With such a huge body and such small wings, how can something so, big even fly with those small wings? So, there are so many things which we don't understand, so many things which we can't fathom with our little imagination. That's the reason I always tell my students, irrespective of what you are, where you are, how you are, you forget about everything, right? Our job is to work hard. Our job is to give 100% effort, and let's give it. They say that the bumblebee doesn't know physics. If the bumblebee knew physics, probably the bumblebee would have said, okay, I can't fly any later. He would have kept quiet later. No, I can't study and all that. All that is bullshit, right? See, I've seen students who are, extremely poor probably during the undergraduation. Then they decide to study. That's because they get really motivated to study, really give their best out. And, they have decided, ki, haan, mujhe wo chahiye. I need that, I need that seat, or I imagine myself being in a government college, or imagine myself being in that best deemed university. You heard something about a deemed university and you want to be there. You can pay. So, okay, fine. Or I want to be in this best government college. There are so many patients and I want to enjoy that stipend and I want to work on patients and all of this. So once you have dreamed and imagined something, you don't worry. There'll always be people telling you that your wings are small, you can't fly, you're from a private college, you are, you have not studied, you're a duffer and all this kind of stuff. Just, that's all. Okay, let's go ahead and let's face this NEET. Let's give our very best. If you really are serious and interested and going ahead to fight this out, that means then you have to be with your sir. You have to be with me. Okay. Now, before I do anything else, I would just love to show you something which I feel that all of you would be aiming for. This is just the last NEET results, and we had 17 out of top 18 ranks. So if you just see this, this something was been very close. Now, this is Vasudha and Viraja, the twins who got the first and second rank in NEET. And it was wonderful for me to go to their home, to be with their parents, and for such a lovely environment at home. Everybody is studious, everybody is studying. It was something like that. In fact, the parents knew the timetable. Sir, this pharmacology exam is there. How are you studying? Can you imagine your parents asking you? They said, I still remember one dialogue which her father said, there is this exam on anesthesia. Have you studied that? That's exactly what her father told me. And I was like, my God, that is, oh, but that is great. And they were twins. And they given their 100% effort. And I still remember one statement from a mother which said, sir, if one of my children would not have probably got that seat, top ranks, I would have felt very sad. But God bless them both. But they both work differently. Let me just give you a small example. The one on the left, I'm assuming is is Veer Raja. I'm not sure. Okay, so the girl who got the first rank is Veer Raja. The girl who got the second was Vasudha. So Viraja finished the paper like almost like 20 to 25 minutes before the time. But with Vasudha, the girl who got the second rank, there was a big problem. And, she just had 15 minutes and she almost had 38 questions to solve. Even the NEET second rank holder went wrong in time management. And then what happened was that she just had 15 minutes and she just went ahead and blasted those 38 questions. She's like, she said, sir, I could hear your words, just go ahead and kill the paper. And she killed it. And how wonderful. Though the difference between the first rank and the second rank was 20 marks, but yet, and the difference between the second rank and that is the third rank, Akash, was just 1 mark. Okay, but the difference between first and second was 20 marks, and yet they were the twins who got the first and second marks. Oh, that was like, destiny or God given, or I don't know. I have no words to describe, because both of them had equally worked, and they were there. I mean, that was, that sometimes, my dear students, we have to learn from these people, the amount of commitment and the amount of hard work, the amount of, I mean, and they were always, in CD's exams, one of the toppers and everything. Akash, equally fantastic, very, very good in his test series. As to see his, we keep markers and students who do well just to see if they're good, and he was a fantastic scorer there. This girl, fourth rank, was Preeti Garg, who the best part was she got the rank, the fourth rank. She went back to PGI Rohtak. She was in Davangere studying, went back to PGI Rohtak, and even though she got the fourth rank, everybody will stop studying. This girl came back and started a preparation for INICET, because she said, "Sir, my dream is to get into INICET." You can imagine, right? To just around 40 days, she came back to Davangere, said, went back to a reading room where she was studying, started studying again, and Preeti landed up with the first rank in May INICET. See, this is something which we have to learn. Matlab, now they've got the fourth rank, and you need not study. Most of us will throw the books because you've been sitting with these books for so long. And look at that girl's determination. She comes back and she tells her, I have another 35 days. Let me blast it out. Let me see what I can do, and gives her best. And there she is, the first rank in May INICET. Amazing, isn't it? So this is few things I think which we got to learn. Now, just quickly, I will not like to speak about everybody. This is Dr. Ullas, got the fifth rank. Dr. Sixth rank, that is Tamal Das. Seventh rank, Bhagishri. Eighth rank, Preksha, GDC, Mumbai. 10th rank, Santra. 11th rank, Rajendra Kumari. All are from GDC. This is girls from GDC Chennai. Dr. Janani. Shafiq, oh my God, he's her story when he told me, I had tears in my eyes. I mean, I was like stuck. He said it's a small place away from everybody. He just had the BDS Next app and just the lectures. And sir, could just hear your voice ringing in my head, and I kept pushing myself against all odds, and he could not believe it that God has blessed him with the 13th rank. Sometimes you got to just listen to their stories, and it's super duper duper inspirational. Um, Everybody, Dr. Jebin, Dr. Vivek, Samiksha. I think her video was there in our Insta page. I think both on mine as well as CD's Dental personal Insta page. She was an intern, and she said she had to travel from Amravati to Nagpur. It's almost like 2.5 hours journey. But every Sunday, even though the lecture is available on the app, she said, "Nahi, mujhe dekhna hai, sir. I want to sit there and then attend the lecture." And she used to travel almost 2.5 hours. Many of them asked why and all that, and there she is today, 16th rank in as an intern, isn't it? It's just wonderful. I mean, many of them are interns too. Okay, 17th is Marjana, 18th is Dr. Shirley, and this went on. I mean, we had all the ranks. I think we had 79 ranks in top 100. It was a very, very beautiful moment for all of us. In fact, for the entire series family. Um, yes. So, my dear students, I would just like to, tell you कि these people, all these toppers who have reached there, it was simply because they just persisted and gave their best out. I love the word persist. I think anybody who's in series will know how much I love that word. I am also an example of the word persist. No time for my story. We'll do that later. If I persist, if I continue to try, if I continue to charge forward, I will succeed. I think we all have to understand this. You know? If I persist, if I continue to try, if I continue to charge forward, I will succeed. मतलब ना whatever be the circumstance, जो भी है, we'll give our best and we will all succeed. Okay, chalo. Now let's get back to basics and let's see how the planning should be done, irrespective of whichever group you belong to, whether A, B, or C. I'll speak a little more about Group C because I think they need most help rather than Group A and Group B. Okay, now, my dear students, see, we have November. I think I'll just change the color. Okay. So we have 3 months. We have November, we have December, we have Jan, we have Feb. Okay. November month, I'll just strike it off because let us assume you're going to start studying from 15th. You have 15th to 30th. You have 15 days to go. But otherwise, the core reading for all of us is going to be in these 3 months. That is December, Jan, and Feb. You know. So let us assume that our examination is on the 9th of March. Okay. Let us assume our exam is on the 9th of March. We can expect the announcement anytime soon. Okay. Okay. Now, if your exam is on the 9th of March, this whole month of February, the whole month of February is a time when we have to just revise whatever you have done. Obviously, from December also it is revision, but in the month of February should be some kind of a hardcore revision. That means to say, Jan 30th, for all practical purposes, whether you are in Group A or Group B or Group C, whichever group you belong to, Jan 30th should be seen as a proper deadline for your studies. Okay? December and Jan, whatever you read, whatever you study, is the heart of your preparation. Now, we say the heart of RCT or randomized control trial is randomization. Similarly, the heart of your preparation for the NEET exam is what you study during the months of December and Jan. These 2 months, you can not only finish the subjects, you can go a little more deeper, you can do some textbook reading, you can look at the pictures, you can spend time heavily on your BDS next app, and that is how you should go ahead. Okay, so the time of December and Jan is your core time. Core time. मतलब ना every day is accounted for. Every day. Those 60 days will set the tone as to what is it that I have to study in the month of February. So this December and Jan is the peak time for all of you, my dear students, to make sure that your preparation is on. I'm talking of topping the country. I'm not talking of getting a seat somewhere or getting some seat. I'm talking of being the best of the best. Now, if you have to be there, we have to give our best. See, we saw that video, the last time the NEET, I'm so sorry, NEET was written by almost like 29,000 students. 29,000 students. And we are talking of being there right at the top. So obviously you should do something different than what the others are doing. Otherwise, how will we reach there? कुछ तो अलग करना चाहिए ना. We have to do something different, right? Otherwise, how will we reach there, my dear students? We won't reach until and unless you blast it out. A rocket, if it has to go up, once it reaches space, no problem, it will go. But to leave that gravity, you need that boosters, you need that fire coming out to push it up, you need that energy to push it down. So that is what you have to do during the months of December and Jan. Okay, that is the heart of your preparation. But I want you to keep this date, Jan 30th is the core date for you to wrap up as many subjects as possible and however you want to finish. Okay, now, my dear students, I'm so sorry. Yeah. So, if you're going to study completely from now on, how is it that we have to study, right? Now, yesterday in the INICET, there was a question on stretch reflex. Now, who gave the stretch reflex and all that? So somebody was asking me, sir, should I go ahead and make a list of all which reflex, who has given, what has given, and all that? Wait. First of all, INICET is set by AIMS. It's a different body. NEET is set by NBE. It's a different body. They're totally different bodies. Okay? And the probability of anything like stretch reflex coming again is 0.0001%. So don't worry about it, right? They're totally different. That kind of a question coming again is very different. Again, we're going wrong in understanding one fundamental flaw, right? In the sense, see, there are 100 questions, even in yesterday's INICT paper, which are pretty straightforward. They were like, tuck, nothing high fi. There were around 60 questions where you had to think, especially the clinical part 3, especially where you had to think a little bit more to arrive at the answer. I agree that there were around 40, for some students, around 20 questions, which were bouncer ka bouncer, wherein nobody will know what the answer is all about, you know. But again, we should never focus our preparation on this. We should focus our preparation on this, where we can score. And yesterday, when I saw the entire paper, then I passed it out to my faculty members, and all of us went through, and then all of us had just one simple conclusion that, so this is a kind of a paper which most of us will make a lot of silly mistakes, and I'm sure by now you'd have actually realized it, because it's all there, the question is there, the answers is there, you know the answer, but somehow sometimes we are not sure, then tuck, it goes wrong. And I'm pretty sure that most of us have made silly mistakes. So the topper in yesterday's INICET exam is not the one who gets all these, these tough kind of questions correct, embryology of heart and liver and God knows what. No. Is one who can crack these 160 questions in a proper way. Basically, who can crack those simplest of questions in the proper way. That is the key. For example, even if you don't know what is stretch reflex, no problem. But if, let us say there is a question on Explorer 17 and 23, how many times they repeat that, I don't know. And we've gone wrong in something like that, then, it is sad. Then it is sad. Correct? Or let us say for your exams in NEET, they give you something on, your oxygen dissociation curve. What can shift the curve to the left? What can shift the curve to the right? And if you're still confused about that, you can't call it as a silly mistake. It means it's simply because we have not studied that concept properly. So it is something like that. It is something like that. I'm hoping that you're trying to understand, you are understanding what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. So it is not about these outliers. In community, we have learned what is an outlier, right? It is a value which is totally out, than the observations what we normally get. Suppose, let's say I conduct an examination, and most of you, out of 100 marks, most of you are between, let's say, 40 to 90. If somebody has got 2 out of 100, or then that 2 becomes an outlier. So never break your head about outliers. Outliers are outliers. Nobody will know. It doesn't make any difference overall. But the simple, straightforward questions, they are the ones which make a difference, right? What you have heard in the class, what you've heard your sir speak again and again and teach you, what you've read in your dental pulse, and what you've seen in your BDS next app. That is your strength. You should be able to capture it in a proper way. Okay, all of you, done. So this is the core. This is how I think we all have to read, and we all have to get ready for. Okay, that is to focus on what we already know in a proper way. Don't go too way beyond and get lost somewhere. That is not the way. You may get one stretch reflex correct, but you go wrong in 10 of them. You go wrong in even one of those easy questions. That means it's over. No, that should not be done. Right, now, how to plan your day, and then I'll take you through the subjects. Okay? Let us assume that I am assuming that all of you can study around 8 to 10 hours a day. So get a good place, a nice reading room, or in your own room, a good, nice place for you to study. Now, I'm assuming that you'll be studying around 8 hours a day or 10 hours, as the case may be. Keep around 3 hours every day for doing something of your choice, of doing something which is, which you feel that you are very, very weak in. The remaining time, let's say around 6 hours to 7 hours, would be spent in trying to master, let us say, the timetable that has been set to you by the institute, or let's say the test series that you have. Let me give you an example. Let us say that your first examination that you're going to give is going to be on anatomy and one clinical subject. Let's say it's going to be pedo. Okay. So, how are you going to prepare? Now, in series, what we usually have is we will be having two test series. Starting from December, we go on almost till Jan 28th, 24th. And then from then, of course, by the time your date and all has come, so we go ahead with another test series after that. Right. But the first test series is core. I'll tell you why. Okay. Now, if you're going to study, you're going to give the entire time around 6 to 7 hours a day completely for completing these two subjects. The rest 3 hours can be for doing what you feel is extremely volatile. I am weak in community values, or I am weak in biochemistry. I have not understood enzymes so far, or I am weak in prosto. I've still not understood about articulators. I've not understood balance occlusion, or I've not understood RPT valence. Whatever, wherever you feel that you're stuck, wherever you feel that I am not very thorough, go back and spend that time. Now, it's very important that you make a list, all of you, very systematically organized way. You write down, okay, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. What am I the weakest in anatomy? Okay, I think I'm weak in mouth and pharynx. I'm weak in embryology. If it is physio, I think I'm weak in endocrines. I'm weak in blood. Make a list, make a list, make a list, right? See, when this particular that week comes, when I give you the test series ka timetable, for example, there is physiology. Obviously, you're reading everything, okay, from first to top to bottom. You have to read. I'll tell you how to read. But these topics where you feel that extra buffer should be done by you. See, for INICT, what did we do? We studied repeats, we did SR papers, we did the red book, we did books like triplet and everything. We tried to complete everything. Now there is nothing. Repeats have never been an important part of NEET. 2 3 years they did repeat a few questions, but not like INICT repeating around 100 questions. They've only maximum so far is they've repeated around 20 25 questions. So repeats are not a major part. And all, if you see Pulse in the previous year questions, they have started questions from 2017. From that is when NEET has started. So if you've done the previous year questions for all subjects from Pulse, you've automatically covered the most important MCQs what have come. I would suggest, from Jan onwards, you just go through those repeats a little bit. And again, don't overbank on repeats, because INICT twice they've showed us that now repeats are not that important. So same thing for NEET. NEET repeats have never been that important. It's a core subject. Okay. Now see, for INICT, they're more bothered about all these things and all that. But when it comes to NEET, especially all the clinical subjects, 140 marks of clinical subjects, they're going to just focus on hardcore textbook. So when they give the instructions for the examiners to set the paper, they give them certain topics and tell them these topics from a textbook and with reference. There should be a reference to that particular thing. So the questions will be pretty straightforward. Questions will be from the textbook, so you need not worry. Basics will get a little bit difficult, so you have to follow the lectures, what has been done in the class properly, to understand microbiology. Like if you have not understood hepatitis, if you have not understood HIV, if you have not understood biochemistry cycles, if you have not understood enzymes, if you have not understood what is this line Buck-Weaver plots, if you have not understood what is competitive non-competitive inhibition, then there is an issue. So you have to work on that. You have to work on. You cannot mug up basics now. You cannot really. Basics are mugging up, but many things to be understood also, right? So if you've read it the proper way, I think understanding of basics become. I really feel understanding of basics become much easier. So you have to really, make sure that you do everything in a proper way. Okay, right. Also, my dear students, so keep some time every day for doing what you feel. You make a list. Use this November month to make a list, and then go ahead with your please go ahead with your preparation. Now, students who are in group C, who really feel that, sir, I'm going to start now and read now, what you all have to do is make sure that you follow the test series as a rough guideline. But I would not insist on all of you to, to try to revise too much, like how I'm going to tell the others. Do it properly, because your first reading is your first reading, right? So you have to follow, give around 2.5 hours or 3 hours for lectures. Rest of the day, this 3 hours and all you don't have to do. This 3 hours plus another maybe 1 hour, you give it for lectures, and the rest of the day give it for MCQs. Is it okay? Group A and Group B, I would sincerely suggest that after December you stop watching lectures because we don't have time. You should do at the rate of almost around 1000 to 1250 MCQs per day. So, really, try. See, one of the best ways to do is your BDS next step. Okay, ask any of the seniors. They've spent 3 to 4 hours every day on the BDS next step. So far in your preparation, you have not really, I have not insisted on you trying to do BDS next step because it is more important that you finish Pulse, finish an MCQ book first, follow the lectures, put that on foundation, and now you go ahead with your MCQ blasting. Right? One of the best things that all of you can do are two things. Okay? Suppose there is an exam on oral surgery and general surgery. Go to BDS Next app, go to that subject and topic specific MCQs. You know that the oral surgery MCQs are out of the world, right? So go through each and every question, go through the explanation, try to understand, go ahead, try to understand, go ahead, try to understand, go ahead. So you have to do those MCQs, right? Another way how you can do BDS Next for quick reading, you have already finished so many live tests. All right, we've already finished, I think, almost like 40, 45 live tests. If you include pharmacology, I think it becomes more. I'm not sure. So every live test has around 200 questions. So if you just revise those 200 questions and go through, that need not be subject wise. That can be any random subject. Okay. Suppose you have an exam on oral surgery, general surgery, you pick, it could be on dental histology and orthodontics for all that you know. Anyways, you've done. So read the entire paper, read those 200 questions, read those explanations, what has been given, and finish it. So if you spend around 1 hour, you've finished 200 questions in one day. The best students study 2 papers every day. So you decide how much you can take up. Even if you study one paper, at the end of a month, you have wrapped up 6,000 MCQs ka revision just by doing that much. And that is where your BDS Next app becomes super duper duper powerful. Okay, so that is the way. And then, of course, you have your dental pulse to study. And along with that, whatever subject you're doing, you have to do it from the BDS Next app. My dear students, those of you who have written INS-CET yesterday would have realized one thing. Pulse is good, but there is so much more that you have to know. So your BDS Next app covers a lot of stuff. And when you start off with your test series, INS-CET and NEET are different test series. The paper is going to be much easier when you're going to write your NEET exam. The questions are going to be more from the textbook. The questions are going to be more searching. It'll make you think a little bit more. And, that is how I think you will try to learn to arrive at the answer. Is it okay, all of you? So the hard part of going through the textbooks and giving you questions is our responsibility. That the entire series faculty will take care of it. Your job is to just read, study, do your pulse, do your BDS Next app, attend the exams properly, regularly, give it that thinking, try to arrive at the answer, and slowly by slowly, I think you can break this neat wala jinx on your head, so we can top and you can be the best, right? INS-CET results I think will be announced on Saturday. Please do WhatsApp me. Let me know. Let me know to whose house should I come as we keep visiting homes of people who have got the toppers and all that. So, right. So you've spent so much time in CDs. You've learned a lot in CDs. Irrespective of your ranking, please do get back and let me know so that, we can always get back to you and celebrate and party together. Okay, so my dear students, so that's about NEET. And how was it that you have to, especially Group C, I would suggest you not to worry too much about the rankings again for this particular test series. But Group A and Group B, every exam that you give should be like a proper acid test fire. Okay, now let me just come back to this again. Suppose you have 1 week for the exam. Let us assume that December 1st to December 7th, and your exam is on the 7th. Okay. So, suppose let us say the exam is on anatomy and pedo. Okay. So, if it is going to be something like this, what is it that I'm supposed to do? The first thing is the foundation. Go through all the lecture notes. I mean, not lecture, just notes jo bhi aapne likha hai, right? Go through all that. Some of you don't have notes. Okay, fine. But if you have, please go through it. So it'll give you some kind of a summary about everything. Secondly, take up your dental pulse, wrap up, even a full stop if it is there. Go through everything. Synopsis, quest. Synopsis, sometimes the speed will become slow, but try going through it, read it, or mark it out, see if you can come back later. But whatever, try to wrap up everything, right? For both ANAT and PEDO. After your pulse, then it's a time for your BDS next step. So you go to try to finish ANAT and PEDO from your BDS next step. That is how, my dear students, it is like a triangle. Okay? First is your lecture notes, then comes pulse, which is the core. I'm telling you, that's the core. And then comes your BDS next step. So you should graduate and complete all three. This is majorly for group A and group B. For group C, I would ask you to stick to these two for now. In the month of February, you can 6 hours of BDS next step and 6 hours of dental pulse. I think will take you through over there. So group C, I would like you to mainly focus on these two and not jump into your BDS next step reading right now, because what happens is something which you can hold in your hand is something which is really nice. Okay, so please try to do that properly. Please try to follow that well, and I think. Yeah, I think it'll be all right for all of you. Okay, done. So this is how you must take your preparation, like every week. Keep that 3 hours for that is your qualm. That means that is your personal space. Do whatever you want to do in that personal space. Okay, and every 2 weeks, along with the subject exam, you will have an all subject general exam also. All right, and that so you can just go ahead and blast it. It'll have questions from all subjects. It'll have, and yes, I forgot to tell you that NEET, of course, as of now, it is still 240 marks, but because your pattern for NEET is just like the INI CET, you will have it in. See, we have to wait and see what exactly they will do. But dividing it into five parts is a little too much. It really confuses the student a lot. So it's always better to go with the four part division. I really don't think they will do the 5 part division to give you 240 questions. So they might limit your questions to 200 and divide it into 4 parts, and same like the INICET. But we got to wait and see when they announce, whether NEET will still stick to that 240 walla questions, and you will have 100 and 100, and how it's going to be, or 2 parts of basics and 2 parts of clinicals. We don't know. So let's just wait and see, or probably they might divide like 80 basics and 120 clinicals, but the paper is going to be divided into 4 parts of 45 minutes each. So 45, 45, 45, 45. It's going to be like your INICET. So students have written the INICET. I think it'll be a good experience. But even otherwise, in cities, you'll have those exams in every half an hour. So you'll try to complete around 50 questions in half an hour. So let's see how much you can score, right? And again, we are trying to focus on this that 100 plus 60 component of your questions. Don't worry too much about that. Those 40 bouncers, though. See, yesterday one student at WhatsApp after the INICET saying that, sir, I found the paper to be a little bit difficult because I didn't know most of the questions. I said, okay, fine. What was your regular score in CDs? Sir, I used to score around 100 to 110. So if a person could score 100 to 110 in the series exams, where you have questions what I've already taught you and what you're exposed to, and if you're able to get around 140 to 150 in series exams, then that's a different ball game. But even in series exams, if you have scored 110, that means my level of preparation should become much better. You should come to that 140 range in your series exams. So that means what is known to me, I know it well. Let me become better. So if you're 140, 110, that means there is so much of lacunae in what you have already read. That you should understand that, my dear students. Okay? So especially Group B students, it's all about revising it again. It's not about intelligence. It's about reading the same thing again. You have to make sure that if I've read a particular point, but I've just gone through it, and I'm not going to revise unless you actually revise it again and again. It does not stay in mind. And yesterday's paper was a classic paper where I'm sure that many of us have made many small, and it's common error. Everybody will make around at least 15 to 20 silly mistakes. Trust me, even the topper of the topper will make. There's nothing to worry. Up to 20 silly mistakes is perfectly fine in a paper what we had yesterday. So don't worry. Okay? But for the NEET, obviously, when you're writing, the competition is much more. So you should try to minimize the silly mistakes on the questions that you already know. We all heard of that saying, right? I'm not afraid of the man who knows 10,000 kicks, but I'm afraid of that man who has practiced that one kick 10,000 times. Bruce Lee wala dialogue. So that means to say, if I've revised a particular thing many, 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 many times, I'm going to become super duper duper good. That is how it should be. Okay, right? Okay, all of you. So follow the test series properly, and now again, I've started getting questions like, "Sir, is it necessary that like I have to study biochem? I've heard that biochem questions don't come much for NEET and all that." See, you never know anything, right? For example, yesterday's exam had lots of oral path questions, lots of physiology questions. You never know what they pick, what they drop. Last INSCT was completely with microbiology. This time not micro, but there are a lot of questions on physio. So never do that mistake. We have one exam that is coming. Let us blast for exam. At least let us, if you have not followed the lectures, at least do that pulse of let us. That should never be in your mind. I think that will be a big mistake, and then you'll have to, give again, which I sincerely don't want any of you all to do that. So please make sure that you do all subjects. I think that's super duper important. Give your test series properly. Okay. Again, make a list of where you feel that you're weak. Now let me come to, for example, how is it that you have to study? Okay. For example, let us say you're doing dental pulse, you're doing prosto from dental pulse. Okay, now the synopsis is given very nicely, so you can go through that particular synopsis well, whether it is complete denture, RPD ho, FPD ho, and then for example, there is a particular point on balance occlusion, right? If the if the condylar guidance is very steep, how will you compensate it? I mean, every time this kind of questions come. So what will you do to the incisal guidance? Obviously you make it as shallow as possible. You can't make it zero, otherwise it'll be an open bite. And your curve of Spee, you have to make it more steeper. So things like that. This is a very basic concept. But if I have not understood that, they can twist and turn in the exams, right? So we cannot just mug up these kind of questions and go for the exam. So you should have understood it, right? See, even in your BDS Next staff, my dear students, besides the lecture that I've taken, we have this course called BDS Master for only for the final years, right? So every day a live lecture is taken, and all those recorded lectures have also been added for you. You look into your app, it is there. Many of them do not aware. So there are more than like 200, 250 lectures on all the clinical topics, whether it is endo, cons, prosto, border molding, jaw relations. You go back and all the lectures which our various faculty have taken in depth is also available in your BDS Next tab. So, you have more than 200 lectures what your sir has taken, and you have another so many more lectures what the other staff have taken. So, there's so many lectures, there's so much of abundance of knowledge, right? Again, we don't have that much time now. So, you've got to be really smart and really hard in your preparation, right? I just got a call before I gave this talk today, and somebody was very clear. Sir, I have been working in a dental clinic, and somehow it has come to me that मुझे NEET लिखना है. This boy is from Patna. I have to give my best for NEET, so please tell me the shortest way to do it. I wish I had some magic potion, and I could give it. So you know what? One of the smartest ways to do it is, like do the MCQs off properly with that little bit of understanding, and then do your BDS Next tab properly. Is it okay, all of you? Right? So make sure that your December and Jan is a core time when you can really focus. And we'll have two test series: December to mid Jan and mid Jan to March, as to whenever the date of the exam is. So your first test series is the core. When you have to go in depth, wherever you get stuck, you should capture and then do it again. Now, come February, all of you, whether you belong to Group A, Group B, or Group C, this 1 month, not even 1 month, 28 days until your NEET exam. Let's assume your exam is in March. So let us assume that you have 30 days. Okay? You don't need 30 days to complete the entire portions, right? So what you can do is from Feb 1st to Feb 20th, you'll try to give one more quick reading of as many subjects. So 1st to 20th, you'll try to wrap up as many subjects as possible. 1st to 20th, okay, done. And then from 20th onwards, till whenever the exam is, that will be your next round of revision. Are you understanding? This December to Jan 30, Jan mid, you're going to read each and every line from Pulse, going to grab up everything. But after that, the subsequent two revisions will be majorly to focus on the most volatile points. For example, in complete denture and prosto, you have gone wrong in certain MCQs, so you mark those MCQs out. So after that, you will be streamlining on those MCQs, not going too much into explanations, only the classifications, picture-based questions, numerical values. Besides that, even in Pulse, there are these huge explanations, especially oral surgery and all that. When you're doing the previous year questions, we don't have time for that. I'm hoping you're understanding what's happening, my dear students. The whole year we study theory and we become ready with theory. And now, when you've done the theory, that's the base. And now you go ahead and you wrap it up with MCQs. Every day, blast yourself with MCQs, right? Your pulse and your BDS next step, your pulse and your BDS next step, pulse and BDS next step. Just keep doing that. Just keep doing that. And I think you guys will sail home. Okay. See, we are not computers. We forget what we have studied. You have studied something today, you don't see. Pharmac, we have given exams. Every week we have had an exam. Topic wise, we have had exams. I don't know. And now, 10 days you don't study pharmacology. Let me see how many drugs of, forget it, even anti diabetic classification, which all of us have studied so well. How many times, do you remember everything? Do you remember those points there? We will not know. We will not know, my dear students. We will not know. Okay? So that is the importance of revision. So December to, let's say, end of Jan is the core. You focus on the test series, give it well. Feb 1st to Feb 20th is one more good round of reading of the most volatile points. Of course, the test series will continue, but by that time, you don't have to prepare for the test series. Just write the exam. Okay, and you'll have a lot of these all subject mocks, so that will take you through. And we're going to start a crash course from tomorrow. So all of you who want to join, only the crash course can join for the crash course too. You don't have in detail lectures there, okay, but lectures what I will be taking to summarize the subjects. Then from Feb 20th, let's say till March or something like that, you should go ahead and try to blast it. This is how you must focus and give in your preparation. So no in-depth theory reading, no doing extra books like microbiology and Arvind Arora and all that. Now is the time for you to cut down. That hard work is already done. Now it's sticking to the basics, just revising the basics. If you've already done those books, please do it again. Community books like Vivek Jain, what a lovely book, right? Microbiology, certain Arvind Arora. Pharmacology, Nobody Can Beat Gobind Rai Garg, Sparsh Gupta. Lovely, lovely, lovely textbooks. Go through those important things, grab the important data, and NEET again has got the strong basics. So even the revision lectures, what I'm taking, even your NEET exam mocks will take you a little bit towards unexplored territory. But please make sure that you will grab that and you learn whatever I'm trying to teach you, whatever the CD's faculty is trying to teach you. Otherwise, what will happen is, you only do this much muscles of mastication. You only know that much, right? So let's explore a little bit, but again within what do you call conditions apply, so something like that. So let's try to do that. And my dear students, so we're all bumblebees, okay, right? Some of us are butterflies, they're already flying, no problem, okay. We just have the faith on our wings. Let's forget about everything. I'm talking of group B and group C. Let's fire it out. Let's target this NEET in a proper way. I don't want anybody to feel even 0.001% doubt ki, can I do it, can't I do it, am I good, am I kya kam? Nothing. We will forget about everything. We will blast and we will give our thing for these exams in a proper way. Is it okay, all of you? I think I just wanted to make it a very short because just the INICT was done, and I think I'll get back to you all again. I'll give in some more talks and try to put you on track. As of today, I want you to relax for some time if you've given your INICT, because the next 3.5 months from November 15th onwards, it's going to be a little hectic. Okay. Of course, your sir is always there with your voice notes and messages to keep you on track, to make sure that you don't lose your vision and the spirit of reading and the spirit of studies. Please don't worry. CDs as a family, we're always there to take care of you also. Please don't worry. Okay. So wishing you all the best. Take care and God bless. Give your best for the NEET. Thank you so much. Thank you.